Hey, friends, thanks for joining. Let's begin standing. Come up to your feet and have your feet any comfortable width. Start to make some circles with your hips. Also begin to pay attention to your breathing. At first, you're just breathing freely through your nose. Of course, make sure you're relaxing your jaw and go the other direction. All right, can make big forward circles with your arms. So you begin to mobilize your shoulders a bit. And go backwards now, big backward circles with your arms. All right. One forward circle, one backward circle. One forward, one backward. And then reverse it. Great. Now bring your feet together and make a circular motion with your knees. Make circles with your knees. Go the other direction. All right. Bring your palms together. Make a circular motion with your hands now. So you begin to mobilize your wrists. Reverse it. Go the other direction. And now lift one foot off the floor and make a circle with it. So you mobilize your ankle. Both directions. Change sides. And change directions. Just one more of these. Make a circle with your chin now. So bring your chin down toward your chest and then move your chin toward one shoulder. Lift your chin up, chin toward the other shoulder, and then down again. Reverse it. All right, good. Let's do a little standing meditation next. Have your feet relatively wide. So if you're on a yoga mat, I would say have your feet about the width of your yoga mat. And then bend your knees a little bit. So it's not a deep squat or even like a shallow squat at this point. You're just bending your knees a bit, which will allow your pelvis to move a little more freely. As you bend your knees, then you allow your tailbone to drop down toward the floor. So you're doing a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt, just a little bit. So you feel and no tension in your low back. Your lower back should feel really relaxed. Your thighs should tighten up a little bit. Okay, then from here, now bring your palms together and turn your hands kind of like you're shaking your own hand. All right, good. Knees are still a little bit bent. Release your tailbone down. And now begin to focus a little bit more on your breathing. In fact, let's begin with Ujjayi Pranayama now by lightly engaging your throat like you're narrowing a valve, which will help you to lengthen the breath. Maybe 5 seconds for the exhale, 5 seconds for the inhale, or something close to that. Breathing through your nose, but hearing the breath now move in and out of your throat like it's your mantra. And every time you exhale, engage your lower abdomen, lift the muscles in your pelvic floor. When you inhale, expand your rib cage to the sides, to the back, and to the front. There's another few full, smooth breaths here. All right, good. Now, let's begin with our qigong inspired warm up. So have your palms together, now fingers together as well. Exhale all the breath out here. Lower your chin, a little more of a bend in your knees, even a little flexion in your spine. Now, as you inhale, bring your arms out like a T, stand up really tall, lift your chin, and get a little extension in your spine. Exhale, slowly bring your palms together again. Bend your knees, lower your chin, a little flexion in the spine. And let's inhale, press your palms to the ceiling, look up, stand really tall, so you get a little extension in your spine. Exhale, as you press your palms toward the floor, look down, bend your knees, a little flexion. And then finally, inhale, sweep your arms up, stand really tall, look up. Then exhale back to the starting position, and we'll begin that sequence again. Exhale, arms like a T, stand really tall. Exhale, slowly bring your palms together, bend your knees, lower your chin. Inhale, press your palms to the ceiling, look up, stand tall. Exhale, press your palms toward the floor, look down, bend your knees. Inhale, sweep your arms up, stand tall. And then exhale back to the starting position. Okay, I'll talk you through that sequence one more time. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Gonna go through that sequence a few more times on your own, at your own pace. Use the movements of your body to help stretch the breath. All right, good. Then back to the starting position. Still facing the front of your mat. Take a few breaths. Okay, now just step your left foot back. Not too far. We're gonna do the Tai Chi warrior next. So if feet aren't too wide, I don't know, about a mat width between your feet again. So then have your left toes turned all the way out to the side of your mat. Right toes point forward to the front of your mat. Bend your left knee. So you take most of your weight and shift your weight onto your left foot. Release your tailbone toward the floor again so you still don't feel any tension in your low back, but you feel your left thigh working. Left hand under your heart, giving the offering. Right hand up like it's blocking. A little bit of a bend in your elbows. So your joints have a softness to them. So the energy flows through the joints a little bit more than as if you're locking your joints. Let's take a few more breaths here. And again, prioritizing really the weight shifting on your back foot, your left foot, more than anything else. All right, now shift your weight onto your right foot. Bend your right knee. Straighten your left. Pull your right hand back and push with your left hand as you turn your shoulders. At this point, oftentimes, actually, I need to readjust my back foot a little bit. That's fine. But push forward with your left hand. Right knee is kind of stacking over your right little toes. And again, most of your weight on this front foot now. Okay, let's go back and forth. So as you inhale, pull back, shift weight onto your left foot, bend your left knee, block with your right hand. And as you exhale, shift weight onto your right foot, bend your right knee, push with your left hand. Inhale, pull back, shift weight onto your left foot, block with your right hand. Exhale, shift your weight onto your right foot, bend your right knee, and push with your left hand. Let's keep going for another, I don't know, 60 seconds or so. Back and forth, nice and smooth with the breath, shifting weight from one foot to the other. The whole time, really, ideally, your low back is relaxed. Your upper body's it's moving, but it's pretty relaxed too. Really, the power from the movement, it's fueled. The movements are fueled really from your lower body. I'm going to add one more step here, quite literally. So as you shift weight onto your left foot, now lift your right foot off the floor and stand up really tall. Find your balance here just for a second. And then bend your left knee, softly bring your right foot to the floor again, and then shift weight onto it as you bend your right knee and push. And again, shift weight back onto your left foot, then lift your right foot up, stand really tall, balancing for a second here. And then bend your left knee, softly bring your right foot back to the floor, and shift weight onto it as you push with your left hand. Let's try that maybe 5 or 6 more times. All right. Then let's just step forward toward the front of your mat again. Take a breath or two here. Smooth out your breath if necessary. Change that. Step your right foot back and turn your right toes out so they're facing the long edge of your mat. Bend your right knee and shift weight onto that foot. Release your tailbone down so you're relaxing your low back. Left hand is up, blocking now. Right hand under your heart, giving the offering. Stay here with most of your weight on your right foot. Get some breath into your back, like earlier. All right, now shift weight onto your left foot. Bend your left knee. pull your left hand back and push with your right hand. Stack your left knee over your left little toes. Back and forth. Inhale, pull back, shift weight onto your right foot and block with your left hand. Exhale, shift weight onto your left foot and push with your right hand. Inhale here. Exhale here. Keep going. Just with this simple movement at first. Remember, feel the movements from your lower body, including your feet. Okay, now let's add the balancing. So as you shift weight onto your right foot, lift your left foot off the floor and stand up really tall. Pause here for a second. And then bend your right knee again. Softly bring your left foot down. Shift weight and push. Inhale, shift back and balance. Pause. And then exhale, shift weight to your left foot and push with your right hand. Keep going. See if you can make each repetition a little smoother, a little more fluid. All right, good. Then both feet to the front of your mat again. Let's go ahead and just lean forward. Bring your fingertips to the floor, including your thumb tips. That may require you to bend your knees. It's fine if you do. All right, now let's go right into the frog squat here. So as you bend your knees now and drop your hips, let your heels lift up so you kind of balance on your toes and have your arms between your knees. Arms between your knees, off your heels. Sink your wrist, but lift your head. Looks like a frog sitting up real tall. Now, when you exhale, press your hips up and your heels down at the same time. And then repeat as you inhale, come back into the frog. When you exhale, press your hips up and press your heels down. Try that 5 or 6 more times. All right, good. Now just step your left foot back into a lizard lunge. Lizard lunge. So your hands are on the inside of your right foot here. Left foot is back. And make some movements with your hips again. Check out this first deeper lunge. See how it feels. All right, now step back into plank pose. Let's take a few breaths here in plank. Remember, push the floor away. Even spread your shoulder blades. Tighten your lower body like you're in a standing pose. Okay, now lower all the way to the floor with control. Once you're down, stretch your arms forward into the full prostration. Danda Samarpana. Let's focus on filling your torso with breath. And then as you exhale, slide your elbows under your shoulders for a Sphinx pose. And so you can create a little more length in your waist. Once you have created some length, then bend your knees and make some circles with your shin. So you rotate your thighs. And go the other direction. Okay. Feet back to the floor. Now slide your hands under your shoulders and lift in the upward facing dog. Just take a breath or two here. And then back into downward facing dog. You might feel good to pedal your feet back and forth a bit and or shift hips a little bit side to side. All right, let's change side. Now step your left foot forward into the lizard lunge and make some circles with your hips. Make some movements with your hips on this side. All right, step your right foot forward, come back into the frog. As you exhale, press your hips up and your heels down. Now, inhale, stand up, arms overhead. Keep inhaling until your palms touch. And then exhale as you bring your arms down by your side. Just put it all together for a few full salutations. Inhale as you reach up. And then exhale as you fold forward. Inhale to the frog. And then as you exhale, either step or hop back and lower to the floor. And once you're down, stretch your arms forward and take a full breath in. Exhale as you slide your hands under your shoulders and inhale the up dog. And exhale back into down dog. Let's take a breath in down dog. And then bend your knees, look forward between your hands, either step or hop to the front of your mat. And take a breath in frog again. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, stand up, arms overhead. And then exhale, arms down. I'll talk you through one more of those. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale to the frog. As you exhale, step or hop back and lower down. Stretch your arms forward, take a full breath in. Then slide your hands back under your shoulders. Inhale to up dog. Exhale back into down dog. Take a breath. And then bend your knees, look forward, either step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale while you're in frog. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, stand up, arms overhead. And then exhale as you bring your arms down. Okay, let's try three more of those on your own at your own pace. Focus on a skillful use of the breath. Okay, next time you're in down dog, we'll stay there. All right. Again, stay in down dog, readjust. This once you're here, practice being still for a moment. We've done a lot of movement so far. That's great. But now just take a moment here to practice keeping your body still Maybe slow down the momentum of your breath a little bit more here as well. All right, let's go back to that first lunge. Step your right foot forward. And this time, though, instead of moving your hips around, really try to stabilize your hips as you turn your shoulders to your right and reach your right hand up. Let's do this dynamically a few times. So as you exhale, bring your right elbow down, and then bring your right hand back up. Turn your shoulders, open your chest. Let's try a few more of these. Mobilize our thoracic spine a little bit more and help prepare for some twisting. All right, then keep your right hand up for a few breaths. See if you can open your collarbone area a little bit more. Okay, both hands down. Inhale the plank, and then exhale as you lower to the floor with control. Now, this time when you inhale, lift your arms and your legs up. And then exhale back to the floor. Inhale the up dog. And now this time, push back into down dog. Take a breath or two here, readjust, and then we'll change sides. So now left foot forward for the lizard. Remember, stabilize your hips this time. Turn your shoulders to your left and reach your left hand up. Yep, and like the first time, maybe first side, maybe 5 or 6 times. Bring your left elbow down, and then reach your left hand up. Turn your shoulders. Mobilize your thoracic spine. All right, keep your left hand up. Open your chest. Okay, both hands down. Take a breath in plank and lower to the floor with control. Inhale, lift your arms and legs up. Exhale, back down. Up dog. Push back into down dog. All right. Bend your knees, step or hop to the front. Take a breath in the frog. Fold forward. Stand up, arms overhead. And then arms back down. Just take a few breaths here in like a wide footed mountain pose. Find your balance. Smooth out your breath. Okay. Now, go ahead and step your left foot back. So a little bit like the Tai Chi warrior. It's not going to be a really far step back. Maybe a tiny bit more than before, but not as far as like a warrior one type stance. Now from here, keep your right toes pointing forward. Turn your left toes in just a little bit so they're not quite as turned out as it was in the Tai Chi warrior. Like a 45-degree angle, as I say. Then just turn and square your chest and rib cage toward the front of your mat. As always, you might need to readjust your back foot a little bit to do that. That's fine if you do. Okay, now once you're here, you're gonna lean forward and balance with our left hand on top of the right foot. So then we're doing this purposely to work on your balance. So that may require you to bend your right knee, your front knee. That's fine if you do, but bring your left hand to the top of your right foot. Find your balance there first. Okay. Once you find your balance here with just your feet touching the floor, now begin to turn your shoulders to your right. Once you can't turn your shoulder to the right anymore, reach your right hand up like a revolved triangle variation. Just take a few slow, smooth breaths here. Like in the previous twist, see if you can really broaden through your collarbone area. Okay. And then unwind and stand back up and change sides. Left foot forward, your right foot back. Not too big of a step back. Okay, square your chest and rib cage. Lean forward, right hand to the top of your left foot. Bend your front knee as much as you need to so you can have the palm of your hand on the top of your left foot. But just your feet touching the floor, so it will be difficult somewhat here to balance. Once you find your balance, though, turn your shoulders to your left and then reach your left hand up. Run through your collarbone area. We try to open your chest. Take a few breaths. By the way, have a really heavy back heel. Your back leg is straight. Try to have a really heavy back heel. Okay, both hands down and stand up. Step both feet forward. Take a breath. Back to the first side. Step your left foot back about the same distance, of course. And we're going to repeat that, but we're going to do it more dynamically now, which will challenge our balance even more. So we're going to start here. And when we inhale, I'm going to ask you to bring your arms up. When I exhale, I'm going to ask you to lean forward and twist. So do your best to lean forward and turn your shoulders at the same time. And of course, you can watch the first couple of times and you can jump me. We'll do it for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times. So I'll ask you to inhale and bring your arms up. Now, as you exhale, left hand to right foot, turn your shoulders to your right and reach your right hand up. Keep your balance. When you inhale, stand back up and untwist both arms overhead. Exhale, left hand to right foot, turn your shoulders to your right, reach your right hand up. Then inhale, as you stand up and bring both arms overhead. Okay, if you haven't already, join with me now about 5 more times. Exhale as you twist and lean. Inhale when you stand back up. See if you can make the sequence or the movements a little smoother every repetition. All right. Step both feet forward. Take a few breaths. Mountain pose. Find your balance here. Change side. Step your right foot back. Square off your chest and rib cage to the front. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, right hand to left foot. Turn your shoulders to your left and reach your left hand up. Inhale, when you stand back up, keep your balance. Arms overhead. Continue just like the first time. All right. Once you've mastered both sides, step both feet forward. Take a few breaths here. And then let's return to the squat. Now, this time in the squat, feel free to experiment. You can stay in the frog. You can bring your heels down. You can bring one heel down. You can do whatever you want here in this squat. Okay, now feel free to keep weight on your hands, or keep weight on your toes and your hands, or just your feet, or just your hands. So some kind of squatting or crow variation, just for a few breaths. Either step or hop back, lower to the floor. Once you're down, let's go right into the side scorpion. So bring your left arm out to the side, roll to your left and bring your right foot back there someplace and split your legs. All right, good. Change sides. Back to the center. One more time. Upward facing dog. Might forget to turn your shoulders a bit side to side. And one more time. Back into downward facing dog. Okay. Just come down to all fours. Just cross your ankles. Have a seat. Stretch both legs forward. And let's try a few boat pose variations. The first variation is hold your legs and lift your feet off the floor. Find your balance here. If you want more challenge, don't hold your legs and or straighten your knees. If you still want more challenge, rock the boat. So as you exhale, rock back. When you inhale, rock forward and come back into boat pose. And you're one of those boat variations for, I don't know, 30 more seconds or so. All right, good. Now bring your hands and feet to the floor for the windshield wipers. Feet about the width of your mat. Lean back on your hands. So you take weight on them, on your hands, that is, so you don't feel any compression in your spine as you move your knees and shins side to side like they're windshield wipers. Okay, now, if this feels good, continue with this one. If you want to make it more core strengthening, take your hands off the floor. But as always, if you take your hands off the floor and it hurts one of your joints, bring your hands back to the floor. That's okay too. Now, if you're doing this one and you want a little more challenge, every time you come back to the center, see if you could shift your hip back a little bit. So right now my knees are to the left. When I come back to the center, I'm going to try to shift my right hip back a little bit. And then I'll drop my knees to the right. When I come back to the center, I'm going to try to shift my left hip back a little bit. So I'm scooting backwards a little bit every time. Otherwise, you usually scoot forward. It's kind of the natural, I don't know, reaction. Make it a little more challenging by scooting backwards a little bit. All right, then drop your knees to one side. Set up a good 90-90 position. Once you've got 90-degree angles, do a twist, turn your shoulders. Find that stillness again as you slow down the momentum of your breath. Okay, now unwind a little bit, and let's just keep your legs where they are, but make a circular motion with your upper body. Make some circles with your upper body. Hands on the floor is good. Hands off the floor is going to be a little more challenging in a lot of ways. But if you take your hands off the floor like earlier and it hurts in one of your joints, then it's not worth it. Bring your hands back to the floor instead. You can make some small circles. You make some big circles, both directions, of course. If you find a really good spot and you want to hang out there, then of course do that. All right, good. Then let's just change sides. Drop your knees to the other side. Set up a good 90-90 position and then twist. Okay, unwind. Yeah, make some circles with your upper body on this side. Okay, good. Then unwind. Stretch both legs forward into staff pose. Sit up really tall here in staff. Okay, we're going to do is a little more core strengthening. This next one is called toe taps. It's very similar to the technical stand up, but we don't stand all the way up. So it's going to put more emphasis on just the core. So bring your left knee up and have your left hand up as well. Left knee and left hand are up. Press your right hand down, lift your lower body off the floor, and tap your right toes over there with your left hand. So my left hand is going to tap my right toes as I lift my lower body off the floor. I'm going to sit back down and just change sides. Now, when you change sides, don't use your hands. Just straighten your left knee and bend your right knee. And now tap your left toes with your right hand as you lift your lower body up. Tap, sit back down, change sides, lift up, tap, lower down, change sides without using your hands, lift up, tap. Let's just do another 30 seconds of these toe taps. Okay, then the butterfly. Let's bring the soles of your feet together and sit up really tall here. Let's take a few slow, smooth breaths. And then begin to lean forward over your feet. Great. Lie onto your back. Let's do a little bridging next. Arms down by your side. Press your feet on the floor. Press your hips up. Tighten your glutes so you open the fronts of your hips again. And then lower back down. Let's just do 5 or 6 more dynamic bridges. See if you can open the fronts of your hips just a little bit more every repetition. And then stay up in bridge pose. Take a few slow, smooth breaths there. Okay, lower your hips. Pull your knees into your chest and make some circles with them so you massage your lower back on the floor a bit. Go both directions. Okay, now do whichever supine twist you enjoy. Whichever twist on your back that feels good. And then change sides. Okay, take a minute to do whatever it feels like you need to do to make yourself super comfortable. for Shavasana. Now let's get really comfortable. Once you have settled in, relax your jaw, soften your eyes, even release your breath. So you're not trying to control it or shape it anymore. Not really practicing pranayama, but continue practicing pratyahara. So you're still drawing your awareness, your senses inward, the way a turtle draws its limbs into its shell. Really noticing again how it feels to be in your body today at this time. All right. So bring some awareness back to your extremities, wiggle your fingers and toes, or roll your ankles or wrists. Take the next minute or so to work yourself back up to seated and into any comfortable seated posture. Okay. And today we're going to practice the Tibetan window meditation. Um, so this one I'll try to explain really quickly. Imagine you're sitting in front of a window. Imagine you're sitting in front of a window, and your hands are able to cut through the glass, but you're not going to poke through the glass. You're not going to push through the glass. So you have to cut through the glass with the edge of your hand, either the little finger edge of your hand or the index finger edge of your hand. So you can cut through the glass going this way or going this way. So again, not poking through the glass, not pushing your palm and the back of your hand through the glass. That's illegal. That won't work in this window. You have to cut through the glass, and you should use both hands, but move them in different patterns. So don't just do this. 'Cause the idea here is that you want to use both sides of your brain and stay really present. So this challenge, if you do what I'm asking you to do, it challenges you quite a bit to use both sides of your brain and to stay very present. Because you can't, if I'm doing this, I could do like a really hard math problem at the same time. But if I'm moving my hands in different patterns, if they're moving in different patterns and they both keep moving, I have to really focus on both hands, not anything else. Main idea really to make your mind more focused. Okay, so you could all look at me if you haven't done this before. Look at me for the first 30 seconds or so until you get an idea of what I'm doing, and then you jump in when you're ready. But remember, both hands are always cutting through this glass. They're always moving and moving in different patterns, though completely different patterns. If you get good at this, you can even make them change directions at different times. You make your hands change directions at different times. So not at the same time, but at different times. So they're really moving independently of each other. Okay, then relax your hands into your lap or on your knees, whichever is more comfortable. And it feels like you need to change the cross of your legs or adjust your seat in any way, take care of that as well. Okay, now practice Jiva Mudra by bringing the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Then slide it forward so the tip of your tongue touches the gum line where the roof of your mouth and your front teeth meet. And focus all of your attention on the sensation the breath is creating as it's rising and falling through both nostrils. Be really aware of the sensation the breath creates when it's rising and falling through both nostrils. And if your mind begins to wander, that's okay. But if you notice it wandering, keep bringing it back to watching the flow of the breath rise and fall through both nostrils. All right, then relax all over. Bring your palms together to Anjali Mudra and take one last moment to enjoy the peace you've created through the practice. So to rub your palms together, create a little heat in your hands. Once you build some heat, rest your hands over your eyes. Feel it moving in, recharging your senses. Take one last slow, smooth breath in here. When you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed class. Have a fantastic day. I hope I get to see you again soon.